Yeah, this is a doozy. What's up, guys? This is Courtney, one half of the Brothers Deconstruction here, and I'm bringing you something a little bit different. I figure I'm always doing movies, and it's been a while since I've done a review of something TV related. Arrow and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. come to mind. But I'm going to be bringing you a review of Black Mirror Season 5. I'm going to be doing it episode by episode, starting out with the first episode, Striking Vipers. This is going to be the first of a few TV-related reviews that I plan on doing. So we're going to be doing episode 1, Black Mirror Season 5, Striking Vipers. Now, this episode stars, the main stars of the episode are Anthony Mackie, Nicole Beharie, and Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. I think I got his name right. Hopefully I did. And it actually has a couple of cool cameos, well, not really cameos per se, but Jordan Carlos has a small little cameo as one of Anthony Mackie's neighbors. I know him at least from Guy Code and Girl Code from MTV when that used to air. He was one of the panelists, one of the people on the show. And then Pom Clemente has a role in the episode. You'll know her as Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy and the Avengers films. And Ludi Lin, who played Zack in the Power Rangers movie that came out in 2017. I thought that was, some cool cameos or some cool reveals, at least to me, because I didn't realize Ludi Lin or Pom Clemente were going to be in this episode. But anyway, I digress. So, this episode was interesting for a number of reasons, and I think there's a lot of subtext to get into, but literally I just got done watching the episode maybe 30 minutes ago, and I just wanted to get a review for it instead of watching the other 2 episodes, because season 5 of Black Mirror is only 3 episodes long. Each episode is over an hour, so that's why it's fine being just 3 episodes. And also, there's a bunch of stuff going on today. So, Square Enix's E3 conference is starting in like an hour, maybe a little bit under. And then we also have Game 5 of the NBA Finals that I plan on watching. So, I don't want to have too much stuff kind of distracting me or that I have to put my focus on, because I'm going to have E3 up on my computer and the finals up on my TV. So, I just wanted to I'm going to watch each episode kind of here and there, and then I'll drop reviews for them. I'll record them and then drop them. But anyway, too much talking. Back to the episode itself. This episode is interesting, and it has a lot of subtext, like I was saying. But on the surface level stuff, this is a doozy. And the reason why I say that is because it's about Anthony and Nicole's characters. His character's name is Danny. Hers is Theo, which is a weird name for a girl, and I wonder if it's short for something. But anyway, Danny and Theo are a couple. We get a look at them early on in their relationship when they're roommates with Carl, Yaya's character. And then it jumps forward 11 years when, they're full-on adults, they're parents, this and that. And Carl shows up to Danny's birthday party, gets him a fighting game that they used to play that Carl used to whoop his ass in all the time. And he's like, hey, this is the new version, newest installment of the game. I got you the little VR thing as well. It's fucking mind-blowing. Happy birthday. Moving on, it seems innocent, especially early on, because at the beginning of the episode, they do like a little role-playing thing where Danny approaches Theo at the bar, at the club that they're at, like he's trying to pick her up, but they're really together. And then later on that, she tells him, that role-playing shit got me hot as fuck. So later on, they go ahead and practice baby making at home. So I wasn't expecting that. Just full-on shot of Anthony Mackie's ass. I just wasn't expecting that. So jump forward. After Carl gets him this game, he's on playing Tetris or some shit like that. and Carl jumps on and invites him to the game. Of course, Carl picks Roxette, I believe the character's name, and that's who Palm Clemente plays. She's like because the VR technology puts you into the game as that character. So there are human looking avatars that we see of those characters. So Palm Clemente plays Roxette's avatar, and Ludi Lim plays Lance's avatar. That's the character that Danny always picks. Of course, Carl is whooping Danny's ass, and then all of a sudden they're like rolling around and they make out for a minute. So that's not something that was really expected, and I was like, what? Okay, that's fine. Where it gets crazy is they keep coming back to the game. Now it's awkward, it's weird, but then they play again and they just full on run into each other, start making out, end up having sex in the game. At that moment, once that happens, I'm just full on like watching the episode. What? It was really awkward. And I don't say that as like, and it's a shame that I have to make this statement. I don't say that as like because it's, even though it's a male and a female character, there are two guys behind the characters. That's what makes it awkward. That is part of it, because that would just be awkward as shit. But also, even earlier in the episode when Nicole and Anthony had their little short, it was like a 2-second sex scene. That was still awkward as hell to me as well. So just those intimate scenes like that are always awkward. I don't know, just for me. But anyway, they keep going back and having sex with each other in the game. It affects them in their personal lives. So Carl has a girlfriend that he shows Danny, or he meets up with her after he sees Danny at his birthday party. Carl is still fucking this chick, and of course Danny still has Theo. That's his wife. They have a kid already. They're planning for another baby, but you know, they've been jumping into the game and fucking so much that they're tired. And the thing is, when you're in when you use the VR headset, you feel everything. So, and he asked that, he was like, is this gonna hurt? Oh, you feel all the punches. It shows them like jumping around and shit like that. You feel all the punches, and so I guess the sensations, the sexual sensations are real too. So they're tired from it. Even one of the first times that he came to bed afterwards, you know, she rolls over, starts filling up, and she's like, oh, where did this come from? So it's a bit of an awkward episode. Toward the end, they end up, you know, Danny stops having sex with Theo, and it starts affecting their relationship on their wedding anniversary, because literally, I'm guessing that they've been jumping into the game every night. So Danny forgets about their wedding anniversary, and so they're out at dinner, and she basically confronts him, hey, you don't touch me anymore, you don't do any of that. Are you seeing somebody else? Tell me if something's going on. Danny reassures her, but then he tells Carl, look, this has to stop because it's not fair to Theo. It's not. So they stop. It's a 7-month time jump. Theo's pregnant. Again, they've been trying to get pregnant. She says in the restaurant, we can't get pregnant if you don't fuck me, Danny. She's not wrong, you know, and she was kind of looking at a passing waiter as she said it, so that even made it a little bit more awkward. 7th month's jump past, she's pregnant. It's rounding out to be his birthday again, because he said earlier he hadn't seen Carl since his last birthday party. She invites Carl. Now, it's like, oh shit, they haven't really talked since they stopped jumping in the game together. At dinner, you know, Carl kind of approaches him about that while Theo is in the kitchen. They jump in again, but then Carl says, hey, meet me. There's this parking lot or some shit that he says. Meet me there 30 minutes. They meet, and he says, look, we need to figure out if this is a us thing or if it's just like a game thing. So we're gonna kiss. And I was like, I mean, that's a pretty solid plan, to be honest. Because you don't know if you're just doing this just because it's the game and it's the feeling or whatever in the game, or because, you realize that you're gay. So they kissed, and it was like, look, if sparks happen and shit like that, we know it's a us thing. At least we have some type of handling on it, and we can proceed from there. They kiss, nothing happens. But Carl says, look, it's not the same as in the game, though. And so Danny is like, look, you need to get that shit out of your head. It's done. They end up getting into a fight. Cops are like driving past. Mind you, these two motherfuckers are in an alley. Cars parked on opposite ends, like they about to have a drug deal or some shit like that. They're rolling around in the rain at that, fighting. They get arrested. Theo goes to pick him up. She says, look, I knew you two were mad at each other, because just before she comes back into the dining room, after Carl is like telling him, oh, just one more time in the game, blah, 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 this and that, Danny like shoves him, and she's like, are you two okay? So she says, look, I knew you two were mad at each other at dinner. What the fuck is going on? Like, talk to me. Because he's just sitting there quiet. So after she yells, talk to me, say something, then he turns to her, and then it cuts to black. Mind you, when this happens, like, there's still 5 minutes left of the episode. So basically, he told her what was going on. We get a jump to his next birthday. She gets him like a little, I guess she gifts him, because he puts the little VR. If you've seen Black Mirror before, you've seen the little dot, the little gaming dot that you put on the side of your head. It completely immerses you in the game. He put that in the back of a shelf at some point during the episode. So I'm guessing that she gives it to him on his birthday or something like that. But Danny and Carl have a schedule when they jump into the game. They go out and have fun. But also, Danny gave Theo a hall pass, because earlier when she was waiting for him at the bar, some guy approached her and tried to hit on her. And she was like, sorry, I'm married, blah, blah, blah. And she tells him when they're kind of in their semi-argument, but they're not raising their voices. I don't know what to call an argument when you're not raising your voice. A disagreement, I guess. She tells him, hey, there's a guy that tried hitting on me, and I wanted him to just for some type of fucking passion. So he gives her a hall pass, and so it shows him logging into the game, and it shows her taking her ring off and going out to the bar. She sees a guy. She looks over at a guy. He smiles at her, and we can only assume that he approaches her. I don't know if they fuck. I don't know. This could just be a hall pass of, hey, you can go out, guys can hit on you, whatever like that. I don't know. Now, as long-winded as that rundown of the plot is, the reason why I said this has a lot of subtext is, one, because two friends, are having sex with each other in the game. One's a male character, the other's a female character. What does that mean for their sexuality? When they jump out the game and they see what's going on there and nothing happens. Because at first I thought they were going to throw a curveball, like they kiss. No, nothing. Okay, that settles it. We good now. I thought they were going to throw a curveball of one of them is lying. And actually something, sparks did fly or some shit like that. But they didn't. They was like, no, we good. That settles that. It's not an us thing. It's a game thing. That's one part of the subtext, and that's one part of a conversation that you can have about, the shit that happened in an episode. The other one is, is that cheating? Does that technically count as cheating? It's in the game. I mean, it's stopping him from actually sleeping with his wife. What does that mean? And, does she deserve a hall pass for it? Like, and what does it include? Is she going out and sleeping, with any guy that picks her up at the bar, or is she just entertaining that kind of flirtatious type of game at the bar? We're not told any of that. So this was a really, really interesting episode. And it was awkward in some parts for obvious reasons. But it's also one of those things where it's shocking and literally, you know, at the point where they just started like fucking in the game, my mouth was open from that point on. So I was like, oh, that's what they're, oh, this is how we're gonna do it. Okay, this is what they're doing in this episode. All right, at least I know what to expect now. This first episode and this first season is really, really interesting. And again, it's a whole, like, I just can't wrap my head around jumping into the game, having sex with somebody, and then that justifying the hall pass. But then again, it was affecting their sex life at home to the point where she was asking him at that dinner, why don't you want me anymore? Straight up like Will Smith, why you don't want me no more, man?
How come you don't want me, man?
So, I mean, I don't know. There's conversations to be had about the episode, again, about the subtext in the episode. And there are probably a bunch of Easter eggs related to the show. I know the little VR dot thingamabob is one of the Easter eggs because that's popped up in previous episodes as well. You know, I'll look up some videos about the actual Easter eggs in that episode. But, you know, I'm going to be moving on to the second episode, Smithereens, I believe it's called. And apparently that has Topher Grace in it. So I'm really interested to see what that's about. But I think the synopsis is like some guy, some like Uber type of driver kidnaps somebody out of a office building or something like that. I don't know. He looks kind of crazy from the videos that I've seen on YouTube when I was looking up people's like Black Mirror season 5 reviews to see if they were doing the whole season or just episode by episode. So I'm going to do episode by episode just because it's going to work out a little bit better that way for me, at least right now. So I can actually get this out, probably post it up by Wednesday, and then get the following episodes out for next week. So, yeah. Again, check out the other reviews. Check out the other videos. I just posted my Super Late review for Toy Story up. I'll be having a Super Late review for Toy Story 2 coming up next week. Again, that's another thing I gotta do. Gotta watch Toy Story 2 at some point. Get that edited. Get it posted. Knock it out. Things like that. Thanks a lot for all the views, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Check out our other ones. I'll be catching up with you guys.